Just look at this absolutely beautiful picture. Friends, I am indeed on Saadiyat Island. Saadiyat is famous for its white sandy beaches and turquoise clear water.
It takes us 1 minute to walk from the complex to the sea, a minute's walk, with a payment plan of 65 to 35 and a 10% down payment. The complex will be completed in 2028.
The entire island has been thoughtfully planned in advance. The architects have worked to make it as comfortable as possible for living. You get exclusivity, something you can hardly buy in Dubai now. It is always flowing and always clean. It's not like on the Palm, where the water stagnates and has an odor. Secondly, here on this beach, you will absolutely never see any cruise ships, boats, or barges. Indeed, all the major ports are located on the right side or left side, and they simply do not pass through here. Well, of course, on Saadiyat Island, there is indeed a public promenade where you can walk with your family, ride a bike, and there are many cafes and restaurants right along the promenade. Even the projects that I will show you today are not available to the public. That is, you need to get in line, obtain a token in advance to even catch an apartment here. Let me show you where our new complex is located. This is Mamsha Gardens. I will tell you more about it when I am at the sales office, but look, guys, the beach, white sand, I am right next to it. We'll show you where this complex is located. Well, my friends, voila, I am at the location. I timed it. It took me 50 seconds. Can you imagine? The location is absolutely fantastic and nearby, right by the water. Look at how large the plot is. This plot will be completely developed by one developer. And in general, the island of Saadiyat is completely being developed by one developer, Aldar. What does this mean? It means there is no spot development here, you know, like in Business Bay. Everyone builds whatever they want. Really, it's not beautiful. The whole island has been pre-planned. The architects have already worked in advance to make it as comfortable as possible for living. The coolest thing is that when you arrive on Saadiyat Island, you will notice that the beach is updated every time. For example, right now they are completely renovating the promenade, even though I was here recently and it seemed to me that it was the most perfect promenade. And behind me, by the way, is the Guggenheim Museum. This is the Solomon R. Guggenheim Museum of American Art. The museum will have its own collection of artworks. However, other museums and their funds will also send their artworks specifically to this museum. Friends, now I am literally near the Louvre Museum, which is of course located on Saadiyat Island. Guys, the museum opened in 2017. Now, I will provide you with some numbers and facts, and you will understand the value of this museum, and each museum creates such value. For example, just have the name Louvre associated with the Louvre Museum. Abu Dhabi paid $575 million. Can you imagine what a sum that is? And it doesn't end there. I read today, and I was also amazed. Abu Dhabi also paid $747 million in exchange for artworks and exhibits, additional special exhibitions and management advice. Can you imagine $747 million? What you can see in this museum. You might say, Andre, just a regular dome, nothing interesting. No, guys. The Louvre's collection in Abu Dhabi includes exhibits from various eras and civilizations, including paintings by Leonardo da Vinci, Gauguin, Manet, Magritte, and Bellini. But you probably don't really know unless you read a little bit more about this museum. You see, this dome, it's not just like that, with such interweavings, because when you get inside, these interweavings create a beam of light that enters the Louvre, as if it were palm trees, because the United Arab Emirates has a large number of palm trees, right? And when you walk in the park among the palm trees, a beam of light penetrates between the palms, creating such a beautiful picture, right? Louvre also conveys such a picture. When you're inside, you will see and feel this saying, "This is cool and this is real joy." Guys, right now I am near the National Museum of Zayed. Many do not believe that this museum is actually being built, because if you look at the pictures of how it will look in the future, you just can't believe your eyes. You think such a large-scale project will realistically be completed in about 10 years. Guys, behind me is the house of the Avram family. This is the temple of three religions. It includes a synagogue, church, and mosque. The creators of the complex wanted to unite the three major Abrahamic religions in this way. Visitors are invited to immerse themselves in the history of Islam, Christianity, and Judaism, explore different rituals, and join in ceremonial rites. Each house of worship is a cube with edges of 30 meters. Total area of the complex is 6,500 square meters. I want to reveal a secret to you. The developer Aldar is launching new project right next to the Zayed Museum. The project is called Mandarin. Can you imagine all the practical apartments will have views of the Zayed Museum? And the project is considered luxurious. I will say right away, it is not cheap because the value of the project is quite significant. And can you imagine, the sales will start soon. The developer is already accepting interest so that we can register you, obtain a token, and so that we can do what with you. You booked an apartment for yourself? Guys, once again, having an apartment right next to the museum is already prestigious, quite prestigious.
Here we have the Mamsha Garden complex, which is indeed a very recent launch. So there is truly still an opportunity to definitely grab something here, because when any complex is launched in Saadiyat, it sells out immediately. But the uniqueness of this complex is that firstly, of course, the location. You can't see it, but our location is on the second line, meaning that where I am standing, we have a beautiful, magnificent sea of Saadiyat. So from the complex to the sea, it takes us just a minute of walking. At the same time, please note that the complex consists of 7 buildings, represents a community. This is our first complex that we launched specifically in a community format. That is, before this, we had one launch, at most 2 or 3 houses, and all the amenities were inside the house itself. Here we have a very large, beautiful garden in the middle, which is accessible only to the residents of the complex. Please be aware that there is a pathway or route like this, specifically in the middle, on the ground floor. Here, where the ground is, there will be a public area, a boulevard along which there will be cafes, restaurants, and various retail outlets. You can walk along this boulevard to the beach and enjoy the beautiful Saadiyat beach. On the podium level of the first floor, there is a garden. In the middle, if you see, there is a community club, which will have its own fitness area, a spa zone, playgrounds for children, a cinema room, outdoor pools, children's pools, infinity pools, various gazebos, a very green complex. And this podium, this garden is accessible only to the residents of the complex. When you go down to the boulevard, you enter the area where the cafes and restaurants are located. So just pay attention to the very high ground floor, where the retail outlets will be situated. So living in Saadiyat, you have your own community, but at the same time, just a minute away, you find yourself on the boulevard on Mamsha, where there are cafes, restaurants, and a waterfront. And here, by the way, the areas are very large, so even a 1-bedroom is a minimum of 100 square meters, which means these are big, huge 1-bedrooms, and 2 bedrooms are 200 square meters and more. Currently, we no longer have any small 1-bedrooms available at this time, but you can still manage to get 2 and 3 bedrooms. The starting price for a 2-bedroom is currently from 7 million dirhams with a payment plan of 65% to 35% and a 10% down payment. The complex is scheduled for completion in 2028. So, you have a very comfortable payment plan over 3.5 years, 65%.
Aima just told me the sales have started. You can now buy 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom apartments here. And I think this is really great because if you buy a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom apartment here, as Aima rightly said, it's perfect for family life. These 2 buildings have not started yet. You still have the chance to get a 1-bedroom apartment, but the chances are very small. So it is better to consider a 2-bedroom apartment in this project where you have such a magnificent green garden with all the infrastructure for living. The next project that Aima will tell us about is a new project right next to the Zayed Museum, right? So, this is a super luxury project. You will be amazed when you find out what scenes are here. But this is for people who are used to appreciating luxury.
Our most recent launch, and I think this is our most highly premium, luxurious, and exclusive project because the level of the renowned Mandarin Oriental hotels, for those familiar with this world-class level, is on par with the Four Seasons. This means the apartments are fully furnished and come with full exceptional service from the Mandarin Oriental Hotel, which is unparalleled in the industry. There are approximately 220 units here, and right now Andre is currently filming. There are units with large terraces that have their own private pools. Here, as in all the complexes we launch in Saadiyat, the minimum area is 100 square meters for a one-bedroom. There are also 2, 3, and 4-bedroom units, as well as large penthouses on the top floors. The complex itself implies full service from Mandarin. I repeat, the design of both the exterior and interior has been developed by the Mandarin Oriental team, under the guidance of renowned architects and designers. The completion is also set for 2028. We had a fairly exclusive launch here, also not available to everyone. Nevertheless, there is still an opportunity to submit your application for 2 and 3-bedroom units. As for the price, I don't know if it's worth mentioning, Andre. I will say that the most expensive unit currently available for sale is a 4-bedroom with its own pool, approximately 700 square meters, and the price will be approximately 54 million dirhams. Right here where we are standing is the Zayed Museum, and around it there will be a large lagoon with fountains, meaning there will be a constant show for them to watch. Including the fountain show, the Zayed Museum, and beyond that, we have the open sea, providing a partial view of the sea, the Zayed Museum, and the fountains. And I also just want to say a few words about the hotelier, a Mandarin Oriental. I think everyone is familiar with the Emirates Palace. Yes, it is the most iconic hotel in all of Abu Dhabi, and it is also Mandarin Oriental. Yes, it's also important to understand. And by purchasing a unit in the luxurious Mandarin Oriental complex, you gain the prestigious opportunity to become a member of the exclusive Mandarin Oriental Club, which will allow you to participate in all various private events. For example, on New Year's, we will have a visit from Bacheli. Yes, there will be New Year's programs with Bacheli, and only for the members of this club will there be an opportunity to have dinner with Bacheli directly. But imagine, this is a completely different level and even an interesting situation. Not a situation, but a story that the representatives of Mandarin told us, that for those who reside directly in the residences, for those who live in the residences, they provide a type of service that they don't even notice. So just imagine you simply left your residence and suddenly something unexpected happened in your apartment. Unfortunately, so it unexpectedly happened that somehow something occurred to the floor in the wardrobe. Unexpectedly, incidentally, and surprisingly, they simply changed everything. And at the same time took a photo of how everything was before they made the repairs. And they put everything back exactly the same so that the person wouldn't notice that something happened. This is such a level of service that we can't even imagine. Do you hear?
Do you hear? When the level of service is to leave everything as it was. Imagine I have a mess there. Socks are lying around, underwear is lying in the wardrobe, everything is lying around everywhere. And I need everything to be as it was. Like this video, click the bell to not miss my new videos, and of course, message me if you're interested in buying real estate in Dubai. And don't forget to check the pinned comment. There I have a link where you can download all the real estate in Dubai in different price categories. Hi everyone.